Paw'dCats Sports.
Hey, yo, Cats fans!
Welcome back to the Paw'dCats Sports Podcast.
Where the lavender runs deep, the pride runs fierce, and today, and yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that, and the day we played the game, the pain runs real. Saturday's showdown in Waco was supposed to be a statement game. We wanted to write our statement. We wanted to position ourselves in the Big 12 race. Instead, turned into a head scratcher.
Yes. The pain, though, I don't really feel a lot of pain. Maybe that's just because I've witnessed 4 billion football games in person.
And
yeah, maybe. I don't know, man. I just had a good time before the game. You know, we ate some good breakfast at a great place. What was that place called down in Waco?
not sure.
Yeah, we'd have to look that one back up.
The
Probably should have looked that up before.
World
before
Cup
we made
Cafe.
The Gold Cup Cafe.
World Cup Cafe.
Oh, the World Cup Cafe, which will actually be here in America next year. But it was a great place. It was a revitalized corner or block there in Waco, and the owner talked to us a little bit about his struggles and how he's overcome them and helped other people who he's hired at that cafe. So that was a neat story to hear before the game, and you know that pain for them is gone. I hope they're on the recovery. And then we went over, of course, to McLean Stadium where it was a little toasty, so we sat in the shade. You know, I advised the group to buy the cheapest tickets possible, and we just sit at the 50-yard line anyway in the shade. And you know that didn't quite work out, but hey, we learned our lesson. We won't do that again.
Yeah, everybody was kind of.
We didn't waste too much money. We didn't waste too much money on those tickets.
Everyone was like cattle getting over into the shade there. It's pretty funny looking.
Yeah, and people on social media are like, "Oh, the Baylor fans aren't turning out." Well, guys, it's hot out there, and a lot of people went home with lobsters on their backs and their faces, and they just look like as red as the reddest thing you've ever seen.
I don't care if it's hot or not. K-State fans show up in droves.
Hey, man, that's real pain when you have a sunburn. Yeah, and you lose.
We had a top 10 show out when we were 1-3 at Bill Snyder Stadium with 53,000. So I don't want to hear.
That is a fact. I'm not sure if it was as hot out on that day.
If you hear anything in any pressers about the environment being tough, it was not.
No, not at all. No, they were pumping in noise too.
So
it felt like, and I hate this about the Texas stadiums, it feels like you're in a rock concert. Like they have to play hard rock music between every play, every time out. It's on volume max. Maybe I'm just getting old, but it's annoying. It doesn't feel like a traditional football game. And combine that with the lack of enthusiasm by the fan base, and it's a recipe for a lame game day experience. Even when you win. You know?
Oh, they were pumping it in
yeah.
When Baylor was going up to the line. I'm like, What are you guys doing?
Yeah, low football IQ, I suppose, down there in Waco. That's just how they roll.
And I don't like Waco, but the people there, the people there were treating me nice, and they were all right. So
they're not Colorado, they're not Nebraska.
Yeah,
they're not Texas A&M.
They're not going to be rude. They're polite to me.
Yeah, they're good.
And that's been both times I've been there. So I appreciate
every time
that.
I've been to Waco, for sure. Even at the basketball games too.
But anyway, Kansas State falls to Baylor in a game that left fans frustrated, confused, and asking what happened to our swagger.
What happened?
What happened? K-State.
Oh no.
So let's break it down. Segment one. Breakdown.
Breakdown. We did not get a swagger back.
Which segment one is actually called Play Calling. Breakdown.
Breakdown. 7 minutes. Go.
Third down fiascos and red zone regrets.
We did not have nearly as many fiascos on third down or fourth down, and we did go for it once. But
actually,
lead it off.
Let me ask you first. What are your initial thoughts after this loss?
Well, my initial thoughts are that we're 2-4 and we're just not very good. That's it.
Yeah, we're 2-4. I wouldn't say we're not very good right now. We're not very good. I think our play calling is my initial thoughts. It's just the most consistent thing throughout the whole season that has not really improved, and kind of those blunders, just short of the third down marks and playing some calls that are just really questionable. That's been my thing.
Yeah, my other thought too, just kind of the last couple years, is that the league, of course, has lost its last two blue bloods in OU and Texas. And now instead of taking road trips to places like Austin and Norman and Lincoln and Columbia, places I used to love to go see us play, we're going to Houston, Texas to play mid-majors, and Baylor, a team that should have never even been in the Big 12.
Hey man, if we play
There was a
Houston
corrupt
this year,
bargain
those
that happened there.
Houston fans actually show up when they're
Yeah, but it just feels, to me, it just really feels like we're a mid-major at this point. That's what it feels like because of what I've experienced in the past. And I do not particularly enjoy going to Houston and Waco, Texas to lose football games. I'd much rather lose in Norman, Oklahoma.
I guess.
If I had
Never
to
been there.
So, or even Lincoln, Nebraska, or take your pick. So, College Station, even down there amongst the Colt Aggies. Those are my initial impressions, and just kind of the short term, medium term stuff.
Losing at BYU.
I feel like we're playing in the American Conference and we're not winning. That's how I feel.
I don't know, man. BYU shows out, Utah shows out, Arizona State shows out. If Arizona would ever be good, I'm sure they'd get some fans out there.
Pac-12 South teams are okay. Cincinnati's from the old Big East and West Virginia, so I can.
You're talking about UCF, Cincinnati.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about UCF,
Houston
in particular.
All right, let's get to the play calling.
Yeah, what we got?
Game's on the line in the red zone. First and 2, we're on the ball, and then we abandon the run on second down and third down. Why?
Yeah, that's a good question. We also, on that second drive of the game, went with B squared after we just marched down the field on the first drive. And I get it. Like, we talked about that in the pregame, that they're probably going to premeditate that and put them in on the second drive of the game. And sure enough, they did. But you got to analyze the qualitative data. I mean, that's not the right time.
Throw it into Copilot.
Make the in-game adjustment. Use him later in a red zone situation. And we did have those opportunities. Let Avery cook, man. We shot ourselves in our own foot.
It's things like this, man, that it's just like, do we know how to coach an offense? Like, seriously, because
momentum, it's real.
Yeah, because you have all this momentum. You have Avery just destroying them on that first drive, and then we're like,
when he's not on the field or he's being wasted.
Let's go with Blake Barnett and then put Avery at running back for some stupid eye candy, man. And like, look, I like Blake Barnett and I like the package.
Right, but not inside your own 30 on the second drive after you just scored.
Yeah, do it like if you're on their 40 when you're driving.
Down in their red zone. Or like third and short, fourth and short in their territory.
Yeah. Don't do it on third down. Don't do it on first down. Bring it in on second down and like 6.
Yeah,
you gotta pick the right places for that, man. And then if you're gonna do it, everybody in this whole stadium knows you're gonna run it. You need to change that package into where he can throw the ball.
It's not a threat to throw, but we didn't have time. We didn't have opportunities to practice much. It was only the second week using that package.
They could have been using this all summer, man.
Yeah, there's a big difference, being in that air-conditioned indoor facility and down there in that blazing heat of Waco, Texas.
Don't give me excuses.
Lack of creativity in late-game situations, too. Should we skip forward to that or wait?
No, let's just talk about it, man.
Let's just go straight to the end now that we've got past the beginning.
Yes, just...
well, hold up. Missed chances to run the ball in key moments.
Okay.
Despite having success on the ground.
So
let's talk about the run game.
We had a consistent run game with Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
I'll give that to Joe.
It was his birthday. Did you know that?
Yeah, it was his birthday. I did hear that.
It sucks that we lost.
Happy belated, Joe.
Yep.
You probably had your best game of the season. I thought you
13
ran.
for 61.
Yeah, 13 for 61. Ran hard.
Yeah.
Ran pretty well.
Mm-hmm. He also had 5 catches for 41 yards.
Yeah, so over 100 yards. Did
Yes,
well.
good game.
But
very good.
to me, it's what are we doing with Dylan? What's going
The
on?
mystery of Dylan Edwards continues.
He
10 carries, 26 yards. How many snaps? Like 30%, 40,
29,
maybe 29% of the
think.
snaps.
No, 29 snaps.
I'm glad he got in the end zone because I cashed my bet on that. But we'll get to degenerates in the next episode. Also, I won my Cubs bet today already, and the game's not over yet, but it is 4-3. Something crazy going on with the screen back here. Got to fix that.
So, my concern there is why isn't Dylan getting in the game? And some people are pointing to he's still having issues with his leg, and I just don't think that's true at all.
Yeah, it doesn't. Why? Why would that be the case?
He ran for 166 yards last game, and he had 19 carries.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting to see what Deuce Vaughn, like how many carries he was getting. But
for comparison,
I was watching Dylan Edwards on the sideline at the game, and the kid's frustrated.
Yeah, definitely.
Like he wants to just put me on the damn field. What are we doing? And I agree, because as much as I love Joe Jackson, there were 2 or 3 plays there where Joe Jackson gets 10 to 15, where Dylan Edwards is faster and he's going to break it.
Yes, I would agree as well, assuming he has A plus character. I don't know what's going on in the locker room or in and amongst the staff and Dylan Edwards and so on.
Well, I mean,
so that might be factoring into it. That's just pure speculation. But assuming that he's, a good guy like we think he is, because he's from D-Town,
he was
would think that he would get more than 10 carries.
Yeah, he was visibly frustrated on the field.
2 catches, 12.
Very visibly frustrated, and I can see why. And that may be another reason, right? With the speculation, he could be going to the locker room and just be upset, man.
It feels that way with like the helter-skelter amount of carries and time on the field from week to week.
I don't really blame him, though. I wouldn't blame anybody for getting mad at this coaching staff at this point. Obviously, you don't want to, but they need to fix it. We need to hold him accountable. He needs to get better.
Speaking of, Kleiman this week announced that the schedule was taken care of this summer for his weekly show, and that he had already scheduled in his assistants to take over some of his shows during the week. So that was his excuse for not appearing. That the schedule was taken care of with him and Wyatt last summer. So he wants them to have opportunities because maybe they'll be head coaches one day. Matt Wells already was.
Will not be again.
Probably not. Stay tuned. We'll see. Maybe high school. Maybe high school, man.
So I don't know, man. The end of the game. Why do we abandon the run?
Yeah, it's a great question, man. I mean, we had opportunity there to run the clock down to about 40 seconds before they got it back, or make them burn their 2 timeouts they had remaining, and on second and third down, we passed the ball both times, stopped the clock on incomplete passes, and then old Louis in there to kick his field goal to get me over 1.5. But I would take that L on my bet if the Cats were to get the dub and punch that into the end zone anyway. And then Jace Brown, his helmet coming off on the touchdown reception, or that negated the touchdown reception. That's 100% on the player, because that's happened how many times? I did see a few comments on social media like, tighten up your chin strap, man. Yeah, we know the rules.
Yeah.
Why does that keep happening? And that is 100% on the player, in my humble opinion. And hopefully Jace, if you heard that, would agree, because you have to take accountability or the problem is going to continue, and it's going to happen again. And, even on a play that's a non-scoring touchdown play, you're still coming off the field for a play, and that play could be 3rd and 1 or 4th and 2, and you're not on the field because your helmet came off. So tighten up your chin strap, man.
Yeah, the mismanagement of the clock in the last final minutes.
Bad.
A lot of
you got to make them burn their timeouts at a minimum. I remember I turned to you and I was like, maybe we should just take a knee and get it to, and make them use their timeouts. And you at least try to run a couple of plays. You dial up your best 2 running plays that you've got in the book, and those should already be on a list of 10, 15, 20 plays you got ready to go in order on 3rd and short, 4th and short situations. And those by default become plays you run in that situation.
Or even the Garrett Oakley like shovel pass, man. Like, I don't know. Get Jason
something high percentage, right? With the pass, if you're going to do it, not
get Jason there to run a reverse. I don't know. Wildcat. The Wildcat has worked for us twice, right? Like, perfectly. It worked for us last game. You got to run the ball. Yeah, just run the ball, man. And it's just very frustrating as a fan, right? Because the players did everything they needed to do, I think, minus maybe a couple plays.
And we're still running tempo and snapping the ball with 10 or 15 seconds left on the play clock, midway through the fourth quarter, and we're not closing out games in the fourth quarter. Lost 4 games by 3 points or less. Run the play clock down. That's compounding interest, and it's working against you when you snap the ball with 15 or 10 seconds left and the clock's running, midway to late in the fourth quarter.
And we also saw Devon Rice in on that third down play, I believe.
Yeah, and your boy.
I love Devon, man, but like, why are we putting him in for one play when he hasn't played the rest of the game? I want the guy to play, right? I want him to be in the game, but consistently. You don't just throw him in when the game is on the line and be like, oh yeah,
right.
If you're not going to give it to him.
Kleiman also mentioned that, like, why they asked him why he played so many players, and he's like, well, because it's hot. And I'm like, well, duh, it's going to be hot in Texas early in the season. So maybe we focus on getting our players in the best shape possible so we can just go 2 deep and not 3 and 4.
Conditioning.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason why you can't go 2 deep and basically just play all those guys as much as possible. Mostly the ones, but, the twos, 30, 40% of the time, maybe. But we don't have to play everybody on the roster just because it's hot. Some of those guys haven't earned the right to be on the field. So I don't know. Just, again, my humble opinions here. Not so humble.
Yeah. So let's move on to the missed opportunities.
Yeah.
We had some drop passes. We had missed tackles. We had some blown coverages. We had a failed 2-minute drill. That was at the end of the game. And obviously the missed field goal, the pick six, there's a lot we can talk about.
Yeah, Willie missed his first field goal, first kick of the year for that matter, on that blocked 56-yard field goal attempt to try to win the game, and that he should have never been in that situation, and that's really disappointing. So Louis,
that goes back. That goes back to that missed opportunity we have. We've got 3 timeouts, and Avery ends up kneeling the ball, which you got to get up to the line and run it, at least, and get the first down, and then the clock stops. Or we already had the first down, I think.
Yeah.
So you can run the ball, and you're taking a yard there, which probably isn't going to matter. But still, it's small things like that, man, that have killed this team this year.
And for good as a day that Avery had, he had outstanding numbers, by the way, over 400 yards of total offense and Mui touchdowns. But that interception that's just one critical error. There was pressure coming off the edges. It was poorly blocked up front. A backer coming off the edge that went completely unblocked, and he threw it off his back foot straight over the middle of the field. In that situation, it's better to take a sack. And did he take a sack at all?
I don't think he did. He's only taken, I think, 3 on the year. But going back to that play, when I rewatched it, Jerron Tibbs doesn't even know the ball is coming, and it looks like he's running the wrong route. Or Avery
never got a chance to go through his drop back, and he's throwing the ball off his back foot, lofting it over the middle. So that's not on Tibbs, I don't think.
I don't know. I don't know if Tibbs didn't know the play or Avery didn't know the play.
The O-line did not
Avery was just getting nervous, because when you look at it, it looks like Tibbs just not at all was looking for the ball.
Well,
and the defender was looking for the ball. And all game, Tibbs is cutting in front of that guy, catching the ball through the middle. So I don't know what happened there.
Tibbs is not anticipating that pass coming into double coverage that quick. So I'm not putting that one on Tibbs. No chance. But Avery had a great game, made one mistake, and it proved extremely costly.
I just want to talk about a couple of those other missed opportunities. Oakley drops another pass on third down that was pretty crucial.
Yeah,
That
was tough.
When I knew we were going to lose the game was with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we were still up 2 touchdowns.
It felt, I mean, you could just kind of feel it. That thought crossed my mind too.
Because, go ahead.
I was going to say, because the 2 turnovers we didn't capitalize on, and there was a turnover on downs too, and we missed opportunities in that first half, and you knew that they probably weren't going to continue to make those mistakes heading down the stretch.
Yeah, I turned around to TJ and I said, we've got to keep our foot on the gas here. And it's third down and like 3, and Avery rolls out, and we had a guy wide open for the first down, but they both just kind of kept going towards the sideline, never made a decision, and then Avery just ran out of bounds. And it was like, what are we doing? And it's you don't have that dog mentality, man. You got to know where the sticks are. You got to get the first down there. You got to just cut up field, man. Like, come on.
Yeah,
or at least try.
Lots of complaints about not getting the ball, like not running routes past the sticks on third down, or like and not getting the chains moved. So
and then
falling way short. Never give yourself a chance.
Yeah. So we were up 14 at that point.
Yeah.
And we had like a 98% chance to win the game from ESPN's analytics.
Yeah, I wouldn't follow those analytics, but I saw that there was only like one loss in some statistical category where it had happened that way in the last several years. So.
But after that, it was just like they're gonna score, and then we get the Avery that we thought we would see all year, right, on that drive that he threw the interception. He had 3 third downs where he's, getting out of pressure. He's extending our drive, and he looked just fantastic, dude. You're like, oh, this is awesome. But then I think we get too in tempo, man. Like we're moving too fast, and we're calling these pass plays when first down, just run the ball. Run the damn ball.
Yeah, it's not complicated. These are calls that, JV coaches could make, or even Pee Wee coaches for that matter. So
and then
it's maddening.
The other missed opportunities, like you said, just not capitalizing on those turnovers when they 100% capitalized on ours.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. That was a long, brutal pick 6 that we had to watch play out.
It was.
Oof.
Brutal.
Hey, you want to go to segment 4?
I was going to go to segment 3, Avery Johnson's performance.
Yeah, we've been talking about that at length. It was a great performance, except for one play. Let's talk about it. We'll just go over his stats real quick for a minute. He had 10 carries for 72 yards and a touchdown. He had the long 31-yard run there at the beginning of the game where the Red Sea had parted up the middle. And then Avery also went 29 for 45 for 344 through the air. 2 touchdowns, 1 crucial pick 6.
And I would argue that this has been his, up to that interception, it was his best game in a K-State uniform, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm thinking over 410 yards total offense and 3 touchdowns accounted for. So great game for Avery, just minus the interceptions. So I guess you'd grade him at like what, a B?
We'll get to the grades in a little bit.
Probably.
But the only thing that was frustrating with Avery is he was sliding too much. There was a play where it looked like he could have cut the last 2 defenders and ran for like a 60, 70-yard touchdown and just slid.
There are a lot of people that are really just upset and done with this sliding stuff too. I'm assuming he's being coached up to do that, but that's just not Kansas State football.
Yeah, definitely not. If you don't want to get hit playing football, man, then
yeah, you play to win the game. You don't play not to get hurt.
Exactly.
Yeah. Especially into conference play, man, down on the road in a crucial game that's now that we lost, it's make or break in the next couple weeks. And if we lose to KU in a couple weeks, I feel like it's time to make some serious changes.
Yeah.
So that's really all we got left. I feel like that's, we beat KU. I'm good. But if we lose to them, it's time.
No, we can win 5 or 6 games and then play in the Texas Bowl here in Houston, baby. I love it.
I wouldn't attend it. Not if we lose to KU and go 6-6. No. No, forget about it.
6-6 not good enough to get in the Texas Bowl, Ben. We'd have to go like 7-5,
5-1 against the rest of the schedule.
7-5 or 8-4.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's what I'm hoping for because
let's look at
I don't have to go anywhere. All right, so game stats breakdown.
Yeah, breakdown.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to go over some of this. Before the game, the pregame podcast, we talked about what we needed to do to win this game, and we essentially did all of it other than the third down efficiency. We were 8 for 15. You'd like that to be like one more on that third and 3 that I'm talking about.
That's
one or two more, right? It is good enough. It is good enough, but you want to be 9 or 10, and those that 1 or 2 more, man. That's
the clock that you needed to run off at the end of the game.
Yeah, that's the 3rd and 3 with 10 minutes left.
Yeah,
to keep our momentum going, and then that's at the end of the game, the red zone drive, right?
Yeah, and then we did go for it on 4th down. I think in the first half in our own territory, and we converted.
Thank the Lord.
Thank God. But we've seen that go south many times before, so maybe just play field position.
I'm just going to run down this. We had 31 first downs to Baylor's 25.
Yes.
Baylor was
the ball 17 minutes longer.
Our defense played great. Baylor was 3 for 9 on 3rd down.
I wouldn't say great.
We played great.
They played
considering they're the number one.
They gave up 444 yards.
Yeah, to the number one passing offense in the nation. So, and we did exactly what we needed to do. We kept them one-dimensional. Their rushing attack was non-existent. We did exactly what we needed to do.
You say number one passing offense, but you have 5 data points for
that's 5 more than 0.
Yeah, but we should consider who those numbers were put up against. So, 444 total yards against Baylor is not acceptable to me.
And when you're saying that, Ben, but when you look at all the other teams in the country, they're putting those numbers up against garbage teams as well. So,
I'm not making arguments for them using those numbers. So,
right.
Anyway, helping you keep it in perspective.
I'm just saying that is a fact that they are the number one passing offense in the nation.
Yeah, it is
right now.
But that's 5 data points. So rushing 162 to 99, which that's great. We held them under 100 yards rushing on their home turf. But they don't, that kid in the backfield, was it Washington? He did not have a too good of a game. 9 carries for 65 yards. So rush defense looked pretty good. They didn't have a lot of opportunities to run the ball. Again, 99 rushing yards on 24 attempts because they only had the ball 22 minutes.
Time of possession, 37-47 for Kansas State, 22-13 for Baylor. So that's just showing that, Baylor was a little bit more explosive, which is what we expected. Right. They've got NFL caliber guys at wide receiver, especially that Michael Trigg dude.
Yeah. And he's a split out tight end. He's not true tight. But they had 3 turnovers. They had 2 turnovers in the first half. They also turned it over on downs, so I count those.
Yeah.
We're +2 in the turnover battle, where we thought we needed to be.
And they had 2 empty drives starting that third quarter, which is where we said we needed to be as well. And it's just the little things.
Third quarter, we outscored them 14-0 to take that 14-point lead. But it quickly turned in the fourth, and giving up 18 points in the fourth. That's a common theme now that's emerging, not being able to finish games in the fourth quarter.
And I'll try to bring that up, but our fourth quarters every single game have just been absolutely atrocious. Other than maybe the UCF game, maybe. But it just comes back to those little things. We talked about what we needed to do to win this game, and we had that 14-point lead. Everything was looking good, and we had our best quarter probably of the season, that third quarter, and then fourth quarter just shut down and get shut down and lose all momentum. So frustrating.
Hey, can I talk trash on AI for a minute? Am I allowed to do that?
Sure.
Hey, on the script we have, how did Baylor dominate time of possession?
Classic.
Yeah, AI.
We kind of talked about it. I mean, they're just explosive.
Stay
They're explosive with their 22 minutes.
Yeah, stay in school.
And we had some pretty long, consuming drives.
Maybe don't use AI for your homework. Hey, I just had to teach there for a minute. That's still in teacher mode. All right, but yeah, the penalties kill any of our key drives. Do you recall?
Yeah, penalty on Baylor. Face mask, ripping the helmet off.
Oh yes.
Ironic.
But very much ironic there.
We had a pass interference penalty called that was absolutely ridiculous as well when Baylor was driving to score.
Oh, I forgot about that. I'm glad you brought it up. You want to help the people remember?
I honestly, was it when we were still up by 14, right?
It was a critical. I think it was the third down. It was a critical play. They were going to be forced to punt if they didn't pick this up. And for some reason, the official who's downfield did not call a PI, but there's an official, the line judge, who's way back there.
Half field or the 40, like
by the line
another
of scrimmage.
45.
He was 30 yards behind the play, and he threw his flag. He threw his flag, I think, a few seconds after the play. And then the very next play, there's another flag that came out that ended up getting picked up. And
that just gives Baylor
at that point.
That just gives Baylor an extra timeout, essentially. Right. And you're ruining any kind of momentum that K-State's defense has.
Yes. Yeah.
So and I want to make this clear. I absolutely hate some of those guys on that crew.
Don't be a hater.
Absolutely hate. That one guy almost cost us the Big 12 championship a few years ago.
Almost, but he didn't.
Thank the Lord. That was a fumble, by the way.
This is my argument about officials. All right, if you want to complain about officials, you got bigger problems. You should not be in this many close games. Put teams away.
I mean, we should have just won the game.
And then you won't have to leave it on the damn officials to win the damn day.
We should have just won the game. We were 14 points ahead, so it shouldn't even have mattered.
Yeah. Anybody who's complaining about the officials is just a loser. And, that's what losers do.
I just do have that one qualm with that guy.
I've never heard winners complain about the officiating. It just doesn't happen. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Matt Wells real quick. We got about 7 minutes.
I don't want to talk
7 minutes left.
I have nothing to say about Matt Wells. Nothing.
Matt Wells, I'll talk a little bit on him. Go ahead. Obviously, he has not improved the program since taking over. His in-game decisions are costing us wins. His career stats are terrible. He was successful 1 year with Utah State where they were ranked because they had Jordan Love at quarterback, who is now an NFL starter. I think he needs to move up to the box. He needs to get off the field. And Colin Klein has 100 more yards in his offense than Matt Wells, and Colin Klein has played one less game.
Yeah, I thought this was about Matt Wells, not about Colin Klein. But
Texas A&M
I love you, Colin Klein.
100 more yards, and we've played one more game than them.
Yeah, that's sounds about right.
We
know what Colin Klein can do as a coordinator and on the field. But hey, I was watching this Baylor game from 2012, and I don't know if the fans remember, but Devontae Fields picked off Colin Klein on the first drive of the game, about midfield. I'd completely forgotten about that. But hey, Colin Klein still led us to a 10-0 start that season. And we did win that game pretty handily by 3 possessions, by 3 scores. Nice.
Yeah. The TCU game?
Yeah.
You said Baylor.
Brought back the Baylor? Oh, yeah. That was the next week, Baylor. TCU, week 10. Yeah. Same week that Alabama lost, we went to number 1 the BCS for 1 week. 1 week. BCS what?
And one more thing on Matt Wells. We played 6 games.
No mas.
Played 6 games, which is more than most of the teams in the country right now. We played 6 games, which is more than most of the teams in the country right now. And there's no reason why our offense should be ranked like 40th.
Yeah, when you're looking at total yards?
Yeah. We should be in the top 30, 100%, if not easily the top 25.
In the top 20 or 15.
Yeah, you've played an entire game.
We were ranked 17th preseason, so top 15.
All right, let's move on to these position group grades, which honestly, not that bad. We don't blame this on the players. It was probably our players' best game, overall game, I'd say this year.
Sketchy in the secondary.
Quarterbacks.
Oh, we're not starting the secondary.
No, quarterbacks. I've got. I'm not gonna go with the C+. It says here. I'll go with a B-. Crucial pick 6, and then the sliding. So
yeah,
but without that pick 6, probably an A+.
Yeah, somewhere in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
So yeah, B. I mean, because of the pick 6, but is what it is. That might be more on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Still, Avery's got to take a sack there.
And he said that after the game.
Yeah, he takes accountability. He always does.
Taken a sack.
But the numbers, man, the numbers speak for themselves. Huge numbers.
The running backs, it says B here, but I'm gonna go C+. I think Joe Jackson had a solid game. He was running hard, but not utilizing Dylan Edwards for whatever reason.
Average. Yeah, we ran the ball for 140-something yards. You run it over 200, then you probably win the game because you're running more clock. But hey, man, air raid! Matt Wells.
Receivers. It says D+, but yeah, I guess that's about right. D+.
Yeah. Let me go back and look at those stats
Strap
real
up.
quick.
Strap up.
Strap up for sure, man.
Garrett Oakley.
Tibbs had a good game.
I'm going to give it.
Jace had 106 yards. He could have had 126, but
I'll give it a C because what I liked about this game is we actually spread the ball out a lot more to a lot of different guys, which is good to see.
And then Oakley could have finished with 70 or 80 but he dropped that pass and he had 54 and he did have a touchdown. We utilized the tight end in the red zone like we talked about and we usually do. Jace had 4 for 106, could have been closer to 126, 36 with 2 touchdowns instead of 1 if you just strap up your chin strap.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, probably C-, D+.
O-line, this was their best performance of the year. I'll give them a B. B-. I
don't know about that.
B-.
I mean, especially on that pick 6. Go back and look at that play. But
yeah, I mean,
maybe it was the best performance of the year, but it's still
in
the low B range. Low B.
We had good protection. When I was counting during the game how much time Avery was getting, he got a lot of time to pass the ball, and that's why he threw for 300 some yards.
Right, a lot of big plays, big chunk plays, but he still had 16 incompletions and a real critical INT because of real poor blocking up front on that pick 6. So just go back and watch it.
Yep, go back and watch it. Count.
Got to watch it.
Count, and then watch the blitz.
Watch out.
But I think that may be due to some of the probably non-experience that we have from some of those younger guys as well that are still learning. Which I'd rather
the deck
take
has
that.
Been shuffled a lot, so it's hard.
I'd rather take the young guys playing and learning than the old guys just getting wrecked out there.
Yeah, what about the D-line, man?
Meh. C.
The D-line did not have a lot of TFLs. 1 sack on the day, right? Yeah,
yes.
My Cody Stufflebean. A missed sack by our boy, number 55.
Malcolm Alcorn Crowder.
Yes.
That would have been pretty
frustrated. That would have been a big time in that situation.
Shut down the run game.
Yeah, they only had 100 yards rushing. So
that was good. They improved there. I'll give them a C. Pretty mediocre throughout the whole board today.
Yeah, I'd go B- on that. But yeah, probably C because you'd like to see more tackles for loss.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe a few more sacks.
C+, good.
Yeah.
And same with the linebackers. I'd give them a C+.
Right.
Some missed tackles.
Especially the inside backer.
But not anything like crazy, right?
No.
So I thought Austin Romaine, he's always out there being real aggressive, bringing the energy, and you can tell he's starting, I think, to be that vocal leader back there. We saw him moving around, talking to a lot of guys on Saturday.
When you go back to the secondary, I already graded them. But what do you think?
I thought they played well. I thought they played really well. Right. I think probably like a C+. But I was expecting it. I was expecting Sawyer Robertson to throw for over 300, and I think that's what we wanted. There were a couple blown coverages. We got beat a couple times, but Michael Trigg was a baller out there. He's just got that size and stature, and Sawyer Robertson doesn't really have to do much to get him the ball.
Yeah, and
we had an interception from Cobbs, which was great. I believe one of our secondary players got that fumble, forced that fumble as well.
Yeah, didn't your boy play a little bit of corner as well? Sorry.
VJ?
No, corner.
Who?
The corner, number 9.
Oh, Donovan McIntosh.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought he had some good jumps on some routes.
Yeah, he had
I
four
thought
solo tackles and finally got a little bit more rep.
Zayshawn Rich got beat a little bit. He's still a young guy. He had 6 tackles, but when you look at these tackles, man, like Zayshawn Rich had 6 total, Donovan McIntosh 4, Wesley Fair 4, Quamos 3, Gunnar Maldonado 3. I think those are decent numbers for corners.
Well,
you don't want them to be tackling a guy like 15 times in a game.
At the end of the day, they still gave up 345 yards passing and had, Sawyer had 2 touchdowns. That's way too much, even for the number 1 passing team in the nation. And then there was 1 interception,
That's
takeaway.
Not going to happen
the
rest of the year.
But we can't give up 350 yards passing and expect to win on the road, even to the number 1 passing team in the nation.
And then special teams, I give a D+. Gave up that kick return, which put Baylor into field goal range by just getting about 30 yards.
Yeah.
We take one out that we shouldn't have. We missed the field goal. So, back to kind of
Just kind of meh.
Do what we needed to do.
Yeah.
Before we finish up here, I do want to speak on the rest of the season. Some people think we've got like this tough schedule coming up. I don't see it. I think the Big 12 is horrible.
It's not great.
I think we could very easily win 5 of these next 6 games.
It's top heavy, I think, actually. I think it's top heavy.
Yeah, I don't even think it's top heavy. I just think it's bad.
Texas Tech, to me, in my mind, is the clear front runner at this point.
Yes.
And there's a group of like 3 to 4 other teams that are decent that maybe deserve to be ranked at some point.
I don't think TCU is good. I don't think Baylor was good. I mean, their offense was good.
Nah.
I don't think Arizona State's that great.
I think Arizona State's okay. Without Scattaboo, of course. They're not as good.
I don't think Cincinnati's that good.
Cincinnati's okay-ish.
I don't think KU's
Iowa State's
that good.
okay-ish. So.
I don't think Iowa State's that good. I think this is a bad conference. I think the ACC is a bad conference. I think
Miami.
They're better than us.
And then everybody else. Georgia Tech, man.
I don't think the SEC is a great conference, to be honest, right now.
And maybe we're just in a foul mood because we have 4 losses. So
no, I'm just saying that this could be.
Let's give credit to the other team. Baylor, they're a great team. They played a great game. They had a good game plan. Blah, 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 blah.
I think this is looking to be somewhat like that 2007 year, and I think there's going to be around 10 teams in the top 25 that have 4 losses this year.
Gross.
By the end of the year.
Yeah, I guess
that's how it was in 2007.
I guess that's what happens now in an age when you're playing 100 games a season. So
and you do know
11 or 12.
You do know that 2007 season KU had the best record in the country.
I don't want to talk about those guys.
And Hawaii.
And they also won a couple oranges for their efforts, and that's it.
But every team that year that was in like the top 10 other than KU had 2 losses. And I could see that same thing happening this year. It's looking like it's getting pretty crazy already, and people are getting real upset. So hopefully, that's what I want to see. I love college football, so I want to see some chaos.
We want crazy chaos.
And let's just hope that we can go bang, 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 bang.
Dude.
And so we can see K-State play in Houston. That's what I'm hoping for because I live here. I don't got to drive anywhere. So
have fun at that game at the Texas Bowl. I will not be making a return trip.
Hey man, if we play Texas, that'd be awesome. Texas Bowl, I love that.
It might be best just to go ahead and just relax a little bit more on Saturday and maybe start thinking about basketball. So I have one challenge I want to issue to the band before we go.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming anyone in the band listens to any of this stuff or even gets this far into the pod, 46 minutes in, that's ridiculous.
Hey, it's better than the other guys. They're like an hour in. They're taking an hour, and it's
too
just
much.
like
Too much happened. We got to get this more concise. But anyway, back in the day during the Bill 1.0 days, and maybe into Bill 2.0, I'm not sure because I was graduated by then, and I did actually graduate, by the way. The band would come out onto the field, and they'd kind of come down the opposing team's sidelines, spread out, get into their formations on the 10, 20, 30, whatever, and then they'd go out on the field and play the Wabash Cannonball, right? Is that correct?
Okay, yeah.
The Wabash, fights on
Wabash.
So they're doing this thing, and the trombone player would come out to that first pylon. That's where the brass was. Trombone player, the lead trombone player, and he would take the pylon in true Bill 1.0 fashion, and he would do about a 780, 1080, I don't know, 2060 or something. He'd spin, and he would just be spinning, and he would just chunk that thing about 50 yards. Well, maybe not 50 yards, maybe about 10 yards. Trombone player. But it would get me hyped, man, because I played the trombone in like elementary school, So that was my guy. Shout out to the 2000 lead trombone player in the Pride. That's the guy. All right. And I want to see that same kind of passion on Saturday out of our lead trombone player when he goes out onto the
just spinning and throwing.
Just chunk it.
That would be pretty awesome.
It's before this starts, before the beginning of the song.
All right, guys, that's a wrap on this week's Paw'dCats Postgame. The pain is real, but the pride never fades. We'll be back in a couple days with more breakdowns, more fire, and hopefully a win.
Yeah, over Trash Can University.
Stay fierce, stay lavender, and keep the claws sharp. Go Cats.
See ya!
Check you later.
Bye.